What's up? Hey, who's around? Jump on, say hello. This is Corey. It's been a while and I have been missing going live. It's been about 3 weeks, I think. I wanted to jump on and talk about maintaining and mastering positive high self-regard and how it's all about energy. So I want to share a couple stories and then give you some tools to use so that you can start to maintain high positive self-regard, because this is critical to your success and everything in your life, in your business, your career, your relationships, your health. So to start, what I want to share with you is a question that can kind of lead you as you start to play with this idea and master this idea of positive high self-regard. So the question is, how would you treat yourself and your life if you were a piece of art, if you were a work of art? So think about how you would hold yourself, how you would dress yourself, how you would interact with others if you considered yourself a work of art. So now I want to share some stories about what this might look like and how that relates to it's all about energy. So there was a story shared with me by a high school friend many years ago at one of our reunions, and he talked about the story of this window washer who really viewed his work as a work of art. The way he carried himself, the pride he put into his work, that was his work of art. And it was all about, again, his energy, his stature, how he held himself, how he viewed himself. Another story I want to share is of the last two stories of myself. So a couple years ago, I was working at a coffee shop, and I was changing the garbage, like taking the garbage out, and I was whistling as I was changing the garbage bag. And one of the customers noticed and said, "Wow, you're changing garbage and you're whistling." And I was like, yeah. Again, it's the energy. It's not the work that you're doing. It's the energy and pride and value and worth that you hold within yourself, whether you're cleaning toilets or running a country or a multinational corporation or a multi-million-dollar business. It's your energy. And then the last example story I want to share is when I was in the Coast Guard Academy, the summer before your third year, before your junior year, there's an opportunity for juniors in high school to come and to spend a week on campus and to explore what it's like to be in the Coast Guard. So it's like a mini boot camp for them. And I was chosen to be the platoon leader, which means I was going to be able to guide these juniors in their mini boot camp. And the funny thing is, those 2 years I had been there already, I had never really done above and beyond. This wasn't the path for me, and I kind of knew it, and so kind of did what I needed to do to get by. And there was different awards you could receive. You could receive a gold award for grades, and you could receive a silver award for military performance. Well, I never received a military performance star, so it was kind of funny that I was chosen to be platoon leader. And when I was given the opportunity to lead and to teach, I totally thrived. So myself, I was the platoon leader, and I had a couple colleagues working with me, and it was our responsibility to guide these high school students to be the best platoon, which it's called honor platoon, to perform at their highest standards, to at the end of the week in a competition be awarded the highest prize. Well, because I felt I was in my right element of teaching and guiding and leading, my energy rose. Basically, I was breathing high standards for myself, for my colleagues, for my students. I mean, excellence was all that was acceptable, basically. So myself and my colleagues went all in. Like, we way beyond what was expected. We hardly slept because we were just trying to keep up with everything that we were responsible for. I remember hardly even eating that week, and still I had the most incredible energy. I even remember commenting during one of the runs we went on, "How am I running? This is crazy. I'm hardly eating or sleeping." Because it wasn't the food or the sleep that was running me. It was my energy. It was so connected to my mission that it couldn't stop me. And at the end of the week, our platoon won honor platoon, the highest award, which was phenomenal. And so it just shows you when you're connected to your energy, anything is possible, absolutely anything. So I want to share some tools for you to how to connect to this energy and how to hold yourself in the highest regard and to see yourself as a work of art. So one thing I want you to do is to think about your common sort of day or thoughts that go through your head and start to notice those thoughts. And also I want you to notice small annoyances and triggers throughout your day. And now I'm going to share with you a tool that I learned from my mentor to help you, because what happens with our triggers and annoyances and our negative self-talk is they basically throw us off the cliff, right? So we might feel good about ourselves when we start our day. We get in traffic, someone cuts us off, someone says something rude at work, our kids are acting out. By the end of the day, we feel like a piece of crap, right? So we've totally diminished our sense of worth by the end of the day, based on external circumstances as well as self-talk. So what I want you to do is to notice anytime you have a negative self-talk, negative belief, something triggers you or you get annoyed, I want you to stop, follow it down the rabbit hole. And what I mean by that is I want you to start to ask yourself, why is this bothering me? And then I really want you to get to the root of it so you can keep asking. So for example, someone cut you off in traffic. Why is that bothering you? Well, because I'm in a hurry. And why is that important to you? Well, because I need to get to work on time. Why is that important to you? Well, because I want to make sure I have this big project I want to complete. Why is that important to you? Because I want to make sure that my work is high quality. Why is that important to you? Because I want to be seen and valued for my work. Why is that important to you? So keep going. And often when you do this exercise, what I have found at the bottom, when you keep asking, why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? What happens if you don't perform at your highest level? What happens if you fail? What happens if you aren't seen as accomplished or respected? Often what we get down to is value and worth in ourselves. We get to the point where we're like, well, then I'm not worthy, then I'm not valuable. So what's the point, right? So that's the place I want you to get to. Because then what you can do is you can condense the statement. So you started at, I got cut off in traffic. That was your trigger. You keep going. Why is that important? Why is that important? What happens if I don't finish that project? What happens if I look like a fool in front of my colleagues? What happens if I lose my job? Whatever it is that you keep going down, 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 down. And then when you condense it, you start with the first trigger and you finish your sentence with the last trigger. So you would say, I got cut off in traffic, so basically I'm not worthy, so I might as well just take myself out, right? So that's how ridiculous it is. And we don't often go there. We just go to, I'm in a hurry, I need to get to work on time. We don't get to what we place our value in is getting to work on time, to perform a certain way, to look a certain way, to be held in high esteem. All of those things, we don't go to that place. We just go to, I need to be at work on time. And that's why I'm annoyed. When really at the core, it's sense of self-worth at the bottom. And when you can connect directly those two, that's when you start to see that's ridiculous. Just because I'm late to work doesn't mean I'm not worthy and valuable. And that's where I want you to get to, because when you see how ridiculous it is, you see it's all a lie. You see it's an illusion. And then when you get to the illusion and destroy the lie, that's when I want you to start to walk yourself back up. So if I am worthy and valuable no matter what, then that means I can do whatever I want. That means I can arrive whenever I need to. That means that no matter what anyone says about me, I know I will hold myself in high regard no matter what. And when I hold myself in high regard no matter what, I will make sure everything I put into my head, everything I say to myself, everything I believe supports me and is life-giving and is positive and is awesome, because that's how much I value myself. And if I am a work of art, you can't place a value on me. You can't place worth on me, because I am beyond worth. I am beyond price. I am beyond value. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Angelica, so nice to see you. I just finished sharing this awesome tool I just learned from my mentor, so you'll have to go back and listen, about how to beat down your triggers and annoyances and negative self-talk. So you have to check that out. But I want to share while you're here, what the next tool I want to share with you is a little visualization I want to do. This is something that I've been playing with a lot lately. So I want you to imagine that you are in a room full of the most powerful people in the world. So think innovators, scientists, heads of state, world leaders, activists, artists, celebrities, spiritual leaders, whoever it is that you admire. I want you to imagine yourself in a room of all of them, billionaires, philanthropists, angel investors, any person that you're like, that would be Oprah. I mean, whoever it is, the people that you place as like would be phenomenal to be in a room with. So I want you to imagine you're in a room with all of these people. And I want you to ask yourself, as you walk around these amazing, powerful people, how do you hold yourself? So do you collapse and see them as up on a pedestal and you at their feet? Or are you able to walk in and hold your own? Are you able to become very present with each person and immediately vulnerable and ask provocative questions and be the person that asks the things that no one else asks them, to be the person that stirs them awake, because you're not one of the people that are sort of their entourage, that's the yes men in their life. You're the person that's able to kind of shake them and awaken them. And think about what it would take to be that person. So think about that feeling of calm, confidence, composure, and unwavering self-belief that you could walk into a room of the most powerful people in the world without losing sleep, without missing a step, without studying all night what to say, without worrying, knowing you could have a conversation with any of those people and hold yourself in such high positive self-regard. They would all wonder, who is this person? Where did she come from? And then you would leave having all these people wanting to be with you, because it's all about that energy. Whether you think you have it all figured out, you know all the answers or not, you show up knowing you have exactly what you need, you know exactly what you need, and you hold yourself in that space that nothing and no one can shake you. Does that make sense? So this is something you can play with. And I've been playing with this last couple of days of just imagining walking into a room with, someone that I highly regard and seeing myself being able to be fine. They're equal. Like there's no difference between us because I hold myself in such high esteem. So that's the second tool, is to play around with walking around as a piece of art, as a work of art, and seeing yourself as a work of art, treating yourself like a work of art, meaning you can't place a value on you. And no matter what anyone else says about your value or your worth, it doesn't matter, because you know that comes from you, not from anyone else. Do you have any questions? Angelica? So that's all I have for today. So go back and listen to the trigger tool. I think that'll super help you. I know for anyone that's in a relationship, anyone that has kids, we get triggered all the time. So using this tool to help you connect deeper with what the lie is behind the trigger, and then of course what really is the truth. And then when you come back to the truth, asking yourself as you're stating the truth, do you actually believe yourself? So checking in. Instead of just saying affirmations or trying to counter the lie, I don't want you to do that. I want you to actually connect with, is this true for me? Do I believe myself? If I were to tell someone this, would it be the same as if I was just telling them my name or my birthday? That it had no emotional weight, it was just truth. So that's another tool you can use when you're doing truth rants. So helping yourself counter the lies and the negative beliefs, but making sure when you're countering them, you actually believe what you're saying about what is actually true. All right. Awesome. We'll leave any questions or comments and I'll come back and check later. And of course, reach out to me anytime if you are interested in learning more about this. All right. Talk to you soon. Nice to see you, Angelica. Bye.